Most of us, when we start a YouTube channel, we just create content, upload it, hoping that somebody might just find it. And unfortunately, you'll find if that's you, you're just getting no views, and it sucks. And I feel you, because I've been there before. I had old YouTube channels many years ago where I just create stuff and nobody saw it. So to get past this block, there needs to be some level of strategy. So today I want to talk about the 3 most important things that we need to be focusing on to make sure that people see your stuff, and not just anyone, the right people. So as simple as this is going to sound, it's super important to think about. So the first one is that your video needs to show up in somebody's feed, obviously. But how do we get it to show up in somebody's feed? 500 hours of YouTube content is uploaded every single minute. So how is it that your video is just going to magically appear on somebody's feed? The cool thing is, like right now on YouTube, it's from what I understand, it's the first time YouTube has actually been featuring new YouTubers, new content creators' videos that have got no views, no subscribers on the homepage, which is wild. So everyone has the opportunity right now to blow up. So it is there, but there needs to be some intention behind how you do it. So it's all about intention. The second thing is that you need to then get that person to click. So it arrives in someone's feed, and they're scrolling through a bunch of stuff, you know, like their favorite creators, some amazing stuff with like millions of followers and all this sort of stuff. And then somehow your video is going to pop up, and they're going to look at it, and from your title and your thumbnail alone, you've got to be able to draw them in to click. And then once they click, you've got to invite them inside, offer them some tea, and make them feel at home. Because when you do that, when you make somebody feel like they're at home, they'll stick around till the end. And maybe they'll even like and even comment without you even asking. And the reason people would do that is because you're offering some level of value. And this shows the algorithm that you are attracting people that are interested in what you have to say, and there is some level of audience satisfaction. And to add to this, I recently watched a video of, I forgot what the guy's called, he's the top guy at YouTube that's really in charge of the algorithm. And he said that they're not focused on money. They're not focused on making the most amount of profit. They're focused on audience satisfaction, because they believe in the long run, if people are satisfied, the business will grow as a whole, as opposed to just making quick money now. So it's all about audience satisfaction. And those 3 things are essential to get audience satisfaction. So those are the simple things that we need to focus on. Again, like as simple as it sounds, they are essential. So how do we get it to arrive in somebody's feed? How do we get people to click? How do we get people to watch? So this is where it gets fundamental. These are the things that we need to be thinking about in order to make sure that your channel has intention and that your channel has direction. And the 2 things that we need to be thinking about here is that you are focusing on something in particular, and there is an audience out there that is interested in the thing that you're focusing on. And that thing that you're focusing on has value. And when you know that there's somebody out there that would be interested in the thing that you're focused on, then you can actually attract that person so that that person finds your content in their feed. You draw that person in with your title and your thumbnail, so that person clicks. And when you then provide the content, the value, you are satisfying that person that is interested in the thing that you're focused in. So it's as simple as that. And yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to kind of get right in order for that to happen, you know, to build up the authority so that people actually do stick around and listen to you. This is stuff that we can learn. This is the sort of stuff that you can practice. And there's systems in place that make all of this stuff easier. But those are the fundamentals. And if you're not getting that right, if you're just creating content and you don't know where it's going, and there's no intention, there's no direction and no real value for a certain kind of person, your stuff is just going to get lost in the matrix. And you'll probably end up being another one of those statistics that ends up burning out and quitting. So I'm just saying, please don't become one of those statistics. Spend time focusing on what it is that you really want to offer your audience. And the way in which you can think about this is, what are you interested in? What are the kind of things that you're good at, your skills? What are you passionate about? What are the kind of things that you draw people in with, the kind of conversations that you have with people that are interested in that kind of topic? This is how you can sort of start to validate. And then you can also start to do some research to kind of see if there's any other channels out there or anybody else that is speaking on the topic that you're focused on, and if there's an audience for it. And once you can validate that, like that you have some sort of offer that you can bring, and there's an audience that'd be interested in it, then you can start to create that content that ends up in someone's feed that person clicks on, and then that person watches. And when all that sort of stuff comes, there's a ripple effect, because if somebody watches your video all the way to the end, YouTube basically sends your video out into a small little group of people. It tests it. And if the majority of people click, watch, comment, like, all that sort of stuff, YouTube will then send it out to another group, a wider group. And if those people enjoy it and are satisfied, it will send it out to a wider group. And this is how your videos get reach. But if you're not making stuff that's valuable to start with, if your stuff isn't good, it's just not going to be seen, unfortunately. So you need to be making great stuff. So you need to be focused on making good stuff that people want, and from my perspective, the way that I'm doing things on this channel, the thing that I'm really trying to get you to focus on, that the thing that you're creating is a direct extension of yourself. So the things that you're sharing are is part of the path that you've walked, so that you are an authority by nature. You've already lived through this experience. You know what you're talking about, so it's easy to speak on behalf of that topic. And when you can really begin to create value from your own direct experience, when you can start to reflect the kind of things that you find valuable and it helps somebody else, that's when you start to build out this whole system. That's when a channel starts to grow, and you can actually start to build out a business as well, because you can build a bigger offer into it, where you can take people through a process. So these are the things that we really need to be thinking about. And I know there's so many people out there that are kind of like stuck, being like, I don't want to be trapped and, this and that. And, in reality, the way this system works, the way that YouTube works, is it needs to know who to send your videos to. And if that's not clear, it won't know what to do. So we need to be able to focus on creating stuff that the algorithm can then translate, can look at it, looks at what you're saying, it looks at how you're saying it, it looks at your titles, your thumbnails, your SEO, all that sort of stuff, and it tries to find the people that would be interested in what it is that you're doing. But if YouTube can't understand that, it just won't know where to send it, and it will just get lost. So intention is super important. So please be intentional, be specific, be valuable, offer a service to somebody else, and I'm sure you'll begin to start seeing some sort of progress. And if you are interested in this kind of stuff, which you obviously are, I have a school community where I'm helping people go deeper. So I'll leave a link in the description below. So if you're serious about this whole YouTube thing, if you feel like you've got some sort of information and impact that you can drive in other people's lives, come join me down there in the link in the description, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.